So the mythology goes like this. Basically, it's some sort of underwater country that's inhabited by the unborn children of pregnant women who were thrown off of slave ships during the Middle Passage and they drown. But since the children weren't born, they continued to breathe underwater, first through amniotic fluid, then through lungs better suited for the aquatic world.
Techno.
Mad Mike Banks once said, workers frequently gave names to their machines. So my grandfather was working with Jenny. The machine would come down and stamp out parts out of metal, and he would take it out and put it on a pile. One day he made a mistake and put his hand in when he shouldn't have. And that one time the machine refused to come down. That's what it means to be in tune with the machine, to feel its spirit.
As a music, techno builds such an architecture that takes techne, the spirit or soul, if you will, and melds it to the machine, a thing enslaved to the rhythm of production.
Welcome to Techno. Welcome to Detroit, where the power has always been in our music, our churches, our choirs, our voices for freedom and independence. It was the way we swang and the way we bopped, the way we hipped, the way we hopped, our clothes, our style, that Motown wow.
Okay, welcome back. For those of you who heard the opportunity or had the opportunity to hear the interview on Friday night, I had an opportunity to step aboard the mothership, and Mojo put me on the spot, and so I kind of reversed it, put him on the spot, and he agreed that he would bring a starship from the mothership. So we won't see the cockpit of the mothership, but we're going to visit the electrifying Mojo right now in the cockpit of one of the Stargliders.
Oh, peace, man. No, it's really something to be standing here on the footsteps, on the concrete of giants, to be standing in the Mecca, to be standing in the foundation of giants, to be standing in the very place that all of the people, that the great ones came, that Master Farad Muhammad came, that Barry Gordy came, that Elijah Muhammad came, that Noble Drew Ali came, that people came and built their foundations here. That the black man came from against all odds, from the poverty, from the slavery, from the death and the destruction during the Great Migration, and made his way to this place. Made his way to the D Mecca, made his way to the Halstead streets in the Black Bottom. And he finally made his way here. And here we are, here I am, standing on the shoulder of these giants, standing on the shoulders of Allah and the 5%ers, standing in the place that's going to be the cornerstone of the new civilization, standing in the place that they say is gone, standing in the place that they say was never going to exist and never going to make it. We have to understand, let's look at it and draw it up. This the place people love hip-hop and they love music, and every day they turn on their radios and tune in into the fruits of the city of D Mecca, and they tune into the fruits of the greatness. Anytime you listen to music or anytime you listen to techno or hip-hop, you better pay homage to Motown. You better pay homage to the Temptations. You better pay homage to Aretha Franklin. You better pay homage to the Belleville 3 and the creators of techno. You better pay homage to the people who spawned this culture. This what we existing in. This what the city of D Mecca is all about. This the heart, this the Mecca, this the foundation.
The industrial machinic decay of Detroit, the industrial Fordism that first transformed rural blacks into middle-class urbanists by sinking man and machine to the assembly line, to the cathedrals of production. And that is also the riot city of the 60s and the ghost town of the 70s. And in all this, the genesis of the Motor City sound, the architecture of techno.
Black to techno.
My mom told me her friend Yvette worked at this hair salon called Vantina's on Michigan Avenue, where you could get your hair done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So let's say you went to a techno party downtown one Saturday at City Club or Music Institute. You could get your asymmetrical, your flip, your bob, your feather, your fade, or your jerry curl touched up right after you left the club.
You are now listening to the sounds of Black to Techno.
Part of techno is literally hearing the machine build into the daily movement of black bodies, the mimesis of movement morphing later into a technology of rhythm.
This industrialized city lives side by side with basically robots and machines.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And also to awaken Detroit to the new sound, the new scene, and to the new natural.
And New Bethel, for any student of the Black church, or any student of Detroit, or any student of Black music, is understood to be the cradle of blues ministry.
There's never been a time in Detroit where cats weren't innovating and making amazing music.
Underground Resistance is a label for a movement that wants change by sonic revolution. We urge you to join the resistance and help us combat the mediocre audio and visual programming that is being fed to the inhabitants of Earth.
Techno, techne, technique.
Body and soul leap into techno.
That sample culture just went in a totally different direction of how you make a machine produce a rhythm and then make that rhythm run and run and run and build.
Out of the African genius, the drum was born. The first phone, the first communication device.
The drum is also the basis of binary computing. It's a 4-bit sequence: on-off, off-on, off-off, on-on.
Techno's signature sounds, polyrhythmic schemes have made their way into hip-hop and R&B production, primarily through the indelible impact of Detroit techno on the native son Jay Dilla.
James DeWitt Yancey, J. Dilla, native son of Detroit, my firstborn baby boy, and the greatest beat maker that ever lived, J.D. J. Dilla.
He uses ongoingly a collective we. It's a black we. It's a we of generations. It's a we that marks the sound.
By using the untapped energy potential of sound, we're going to destroy this wall, much the same as certain frequencies shatter glass. Techno is music based in experimentation. It is music for the future of the human race.
It seems to be an invasion into the music, a new sound, a new beat, this thump, thump, thump.
The foundation is techno, is the Belleville 3. The foundation is Diana Ross. The foundation is J Dilla, the roots. The foundation is the positivity. This is where it started at.
Everybody who is involved in this techno movement, he participates on the peace movement, even if he does not know. Detroit techno, this music from lowly Michigan, came to Berlin and it started a revolution. There was no control. You had the feeling you can do what you ever wanted to do.
It ain't pro-black, it ain't anti-white, it's only pro-positivity, man, and anti-devilishment.
Once you go into these underground sound experiences, a lot of them experimental, everything breaks open.
It became the soundtrack for the reunification.
Without this music, there will be no peace, no love, no vision. By simply communicating through sound, techno has brought people of all different nationalities together under one roof to enjoy themselves.
At the same time, Reverend Franklin's church remained a touch point for even more radical organizing. He opened New Bethel to black auto workers who were waging a class struggle within a racist United Automobile Workers Union.
It's not the notes, but the space between the notes.
It's what Arthur Jaffa calls the dub structure. One of the oldest structural elements of black music. Everything just drops out except one thing, one sound, like in dub, or like in techno, where it's just a kick, like, or like in jazz with a hi-hat, where it's like, you know, that sound where it's like one thing still going. This is a musical structure, no doubt, but on a deeper psychoanalytical level, like the dropout within techno music and all other forms of black musical composition speaks to the ideas of the missing.
The architectural distinction that is Detroit Techno's channel of electronica is clearly and especially located in the structure of sound and the structured space, the architecture of the city.
I call her the Funky Robot 2000. She was built with a space-age design.
If you want the truth and you want to know what real blackness look like and what real struggle and what real pain and what the real creativity to be able to come out of nothing and manifest everything and manifest greatness, then you need to look at the city of Detroit.
The machine music interface is a Detroit interface.
I've always just wanted to remain a voice on the radio, a face in the crowd, a figment of the imagination.
In the Metro Detroit area, there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and more about to join now. Will the members of the Midnight Funk Association please rise?
Techno delivers its own ruthless logic in the 4/4 of Techne, the artful, the skillful, the crafted. Technique rolls over to the machinic, the automated, the driven, the direct drive, the unrelenting. We kind of put a soul in that machine, and that's how techno became what it is today.
Syncopation, black rhythm, black time might be understood as a suspension of the resolution between contradictory but twinned positions.
This is the property of black to techno.
Detroit is the cornerstone. It always have been. This where the automotive industry built this cornerstone. This where America built this cornerstone. This where music built this cornerstone. This where jazz built this cornerstone. Everything.
We be drum people, speaking in drum conversations from sunrise to sunset, and sometimes all night long. The drum, the heartbeat. There would be no music without the drum. Music is dead without the drum.
How did this melting pot manifest itself? How did music and arts and graffiti and hip hop and all these things mold together to form this creative being that we see here today?
The industrial sound that makes it Motor City is a prime source of sonic mimesis.
On a deeper psychoanalytical level, what you're essentially hearing is black people creating a universe within which that rupture, that loss that we are missing is fixed. Forcing an awareness upon us of what has been removed and taken from us. The missing. It's that thing we'll never find, never get back, never recover. It's speaking to that. The dropout is essentially a pulling away and acknowledgement of a presence and energy that has been removed from itself. This removal in a German musical context can be linked to the pre-fall of the Berlin Wall and the Holocaust of the Jews in Germany.
No one said this can be art. In fact, the mechanical is always termed as the opposite,